Shane here, back with you from Guitar at Work. Welcome. This is Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys. Great song. And you can do a straight campfire version of it with just the straight chords, as we'll talk about. But there's also a neat little bass walk in there. That thing there, yeah. So let's get to that. But first off, the chords. We've got a D chord here, no capo, straight up. Here's a D chord. We all know and love. Now C add 9, I think we've seen a few times before. C add 9. G/B, which can be a couple of different shapes. In this song, it's this guy here. So ring and pinky, they stay where they were. From the C add 9 to the G/B, ring and pinky have not moved. And then we're heading to a G. You gotta like it, so that's pretty easy to get to. You're just adding that middle finger. So those chords again here, I'll go D. I'm gonna add my pinky first here, doink, and then C add 9, G/B, and then to the G chord. Watch out for your X's. Remember, D's got 2 X's, meaning that we try not to hit those low 2 strings when we're strumming. C add 9 only has 1, so we just try to avoid the low string. G/B also has 1 X. We're avoiding that big thick string. You're gonna hit them by accident once in a while. What are you gonna do? It's not the biggest deal. And here's your G, boom. No X's on that guy. So if I just did that as a campfire version so far, before we introduce this big bass walk here, here's D, 1 and 2, and notice I'm gonna put the pinky on the upstroke that is what we call the and of 2 here. So if I were to go 1 and 2 and straight down up strumming, nothing fancy there. Let's do that again. Here's D, 1 and 2, pinky on, and I'm gonna head to C add 9, 3 and 4, and G/B, 1 and 2, and back to the G. Now here's your D again, 1 and 2, pinky on, C add 9. It's 2 beats each. Great. Now I gotta tell you that you come in early on the G. It's called push. You come in on the and, to be and of 2. So if I came from G/B, 1 and 2, and so you're hitting that guy on the upstroke. And before we introduce this bass line, let's just do that one more time. We're going 1 and 2 and C add 9, G/B. Here's the push right here. 4, 3 and 4. D again, 1 and C add 9. 4, G/B, 1, and G on the up, 3, and 4, and. So that's your main riff. Now for those of you that want to do the bass line in there, you have a separate piece of paper, a handwritten sheet that's got some tab on it, some numbers and dots and diagrams and such. Here is a D chord. I'll start out by isolating the open D string. Let's get a good close-up of that. I'm going to isolate with my right hand here the open D string, so play that guy, bass, and then up, down, up on the three remaining strings there. Notice that. So bass, up, down, up. Okay, there's that guy. Now I'm going to go C add 9. My new bass note is this guy right here, the A string here. So second thickest string. Again, I'll go bass, up, down, up. And we're trying not to hit that bass string again, just to keep the bass note and the chords separate. So here it is from the top again. Bass note here on the D. Bass, up, down, up, and I put my pinky on that last upstroke, just like always. C add 9 here. Here's my bass note on the A string. There we go. G/B. The bass note is the same as where it was for C add 9. It's going to be your A string right there. Bass, up, down. Now, when we went to the G, when we were just playing the basic chords, we pushed, meaning we came in early. We do the same thing, only we just isolate the bass note on the G a little early. And I'm going to use a downstroke on that, and check this out. From the top, it's going to sound this way. Bass, up, down, up. C add 9, G/B, and here comes. I'm just going to play that bass note in real time. One more time. Here's D, 3, 4, isolate, bass, up, down, C add 9, bass, up, down, G/B, bass, up. Here comes the big bass note on the G. And now you're left with the bass walk here, and it's gonna go open A. I'm gonna get rid of my chord there. Second fret on the A string, and then to the 3rd fret of the A string. So let me take it from the very top. Check this out. Here's D coming, bass up, down, pinky on, C add 9, G/B, and here comes my bass walk. Now, I kept my ring and pinky there. Take note of that. Before, when I take them off, it was just so you can get a good look at that bass walk. Let me do it again and point that out to you. Here's D, bass, up, down, pinky on, C add 9, G/B, and here's your bass walk. Ring and pinky stay. Here comes again, up, down, C add 9, G slash B. Here's your bass note, and walk. Bass. Notice the G note, when you hit him, he's held a little longer than the others, right? Actually twice as long to be exact. In time again, that's D. Again, C add 9, G slash B, long G note, and then a walk. D, C add 9, and G slash B. Here comes walking. Pinky on, C add 9, bass. Here's the walk coming. Last time, bass up, down, pinky on. Good. So that's our main riff. One little confusing part. You're going to see that repeat a couple of times. The last time before he hits the C chord, and you'll see in your verse section, before he hits a full-fledged C, the bass line to connect it to C can be tricky because they arrive. You have to actually do that, and you have to get to a C. So a nice workaround for that, because they have a full band in there doing that. So if you're just one person with a guitar, I'd recommend going to last time bass up, down, pinky on, bass up, G slash B, and then bo, ba, bo, bo, bo. So I'm going to put an open string in there. So that was again, boom, open instead of going to C there, and then run to your C chord. So let me see if I can do that real time for you slowly. Bass, up, down, pinky on. Here it comes. Here's a bass walk. Okay, let me call out those numbers. Here's 3rd fret and open A. And then the 2nd fret. So far that was all the same, but instead of going to the 3rd fret, now we go open, which gives you half a beat to get to your C chord, full-fledged C in there. So here's a full verse here. Check this out. Here's D, 3, 4, going bass, up, down, pink, C add 9, G slash B, the walk, repeat D, C add 9, G slash B. Here it is. We go to C. 4 beats, 3 and 4, G to E minor. Good. Now the lyrics there, you're the best thing that I've ever found. The G to the E minor is pushed, which means come in on the and of 2, come in on a what would be an upstroke. So here's your G, down, down, E minor on the upstroke. So what, G, E minor, and now C, D, and G. We're at the end of the first verse. Good. Great. Now see if you can play along with me. Here's a full verse. It's very slowly. I'll count you in. Here's D coming. 3, 4, going. Bass up. C add 9. G slash B. Walk in here. D. C add 9. G slash B. Here's your walk, but we're going to C. Special walk in. C, 2, 3. G to E minor. Push the E minor. Good. C to D, 2 beats apiece. The bracketed G, and they stop there on the G chord. Yeah, that's a full verse. So without me blabbing away, how about top again? Here's a verse coming. 3, 4, D, C add 9, G slash B, D, C add 9, G slash B. Special walk here. C, 2, 3, G to E minor, C, D, and G, and we're back into the main riff at that point. So another verse is going to happen just like the previous verse. That's a lot coming at you already, for sure. You may have to shut the video off at that point and just work it out. A quick word about technique. When I have to isolate, I think a lot of people will tell you this, when I have to isolate certain notes, I go to my happy spot here, I'll call it, and the heel of my hand rests on the pins. We've talked about that a lot. When you need detail with a pick, rest that guy down. It can be tricky to find those bass notes when you're unsupported and you don't want to have to look. It shouldn't feel surgical to you. And if you happen to hit a couple of strings when you're playing the bass note, that's okay too. It's not, again, supposed to be surgical. You don't want to be afraid to hit the wrong bass note or anything. So what I do for that is I'll go bass, I'm rested there, bass, off comes my rest, bass, I'm rested again for the bass note, and bass. I'm not resting for the strumming, but I come back and nail that every time. And I just miss a whole lot less when I do that. So in slow motion, it might look and sound like this. Here's D, bass, up, down, up, rest, G slash B, rest, and rest for the walk. And bass, up, down. I'm gonna rest, off, rest, off for the strum, and back to the rest for the bass walk. Yeah. The only other thing you're going to have to worry about in this song is the G to B7. I'll call it the chorusy bit here. B7, I think we all know that guy. If not, there's a picture of him there on your chart. So now they are all bracketed. So if we go G for 2 beats, B7 for 2 beats, I'm just going to play straight down up stuff. Nothing fancy in the right hand. So here's a G, 3, 4, going I'm, B7, so tired, C, being. Here's a D, lonely. Here's a G, I still, B7, have, here's a C, some love, here's a D, to give, here's a G, won't you, here's a B7, show me, here's a C, that you, D, G, really care. Yeah, I might go into a down, up, down, down, up, down, up, just to break up the pattern a little bit in that. So here's a chorus at a sort of a medium tempo. Jump in with me if you can. I'll count you in. 3, here's a G, 3, 4, going. B7, C, D, G, B7, I still have, C, some love, here's a D to give, G, won't you, B7, show me, here's a C, that's you, here's a D, really, and a G. I'll change the pattern down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Everybody's got somebody to lean on, straight strumming. And I'm going to put a big emphasis on 2 and 4 in that section. I don't know, post-chorus, whatever we're going to call that. I'll go C, 1, 2. So big G. Here's a G. The big accents there. C, it's 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here's your D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we are back to our main riff, which is going to be this guy again. Bass, up, down, bass, up, down, bass, up. Here's the walk. Bass, up, down, bass, up, down, bass, up, down. Walk into C. C, G to E minor, push. And C, D, G. Big stop. Like that. That's all you're going to need for that one. But it's challenging. Remember that it's guitar, learning all these songs is all cumulative, right? The more you get under your belt, the easier it's going to be to learn the next song, the next song. So if that is your first attempt at isolating bass notes, it's a perfect song for you for that. Just to get a little more detail in your strumming. Straight up strumming is nice, but it sure is great to hear once in a while articulated bass notes like 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, oh, bow, do, do, down. Nice way to play. You'll get some control in your right hand for sure. And that will show up in other songs, no doubt about it. So thank you for coming back. And that's it for that one. We'll see you very soon for the next one. Talk soon. Bye-bye now.